Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. In this video, we're going to continue on with our World War II project, and I am in the process of creating some terrain tiles, and as you can see, I've got a big stack of junk over here. But I just recently went to go look for my hot knife to cut through the foam, and I couldn't find it, so I went ahead and purchased a new one to replace my missing hot wire. And this one is the Gorita, is the one that I plan to be using. I just got it in today, never been used, but what's kind of cool about the Gorita is it comes with three tools. You've got the knife tool that I'm going to be using. Put some light on this subject so I can see down inside here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be using that one first. It comes with your power adapter, of course, but it also comes with the blade and I guess they call this a, what do they call that? An engraver tip. So if I needed to engrave, I don't think maybe I can engrave wood with that. I don't think so. But it's just very sharp tipped and very short and thick, and an extra wire in case this wire here ever breaks. Okay, so let's go ahead and get my hot wire knife heating up so that we can get this show on the road. Okay, while I'm doing this, while I'm untying this, I wanted to let you know that I went ahead and applied some PVA glue between these layers, and these paint cans I have sitting on top are providing weight pushing down. I thought about books, I thought about clamps, but I just figured paint cans in these boxes should be able to apply enough downward pressure so that the foam will not bow up or not separate, and give the glue enough chance to dry. Now, the blades, it also, by the way, comes with a blade stand so that you can set it up like that so that it doesn't burn anything, and you would plug it in like any other thing. And it also comes with an on-off switch, which is very nice. And see, that's what I'm afraid is going to always happen, is it's going to fall off of this stand, because the stand doesn't seem like a very sturdy stand. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Okay, let's turn this on. I don't know how long it's going to take to heat up, but I think it's only about a minute or two. Okay, so now I'm limiting my workspace here because I have all this over here. Pretty simple. We're just going to cut straight up and down using the hot knife. Because I'm going to fix this with the knife. Okay, also when what I've noticed is when I use a foam knife cutting through styrofoam, it cools off, or it loses temperature as it's cutting. So you have to kind of do it in chunks. Plus, this being 1 inch thick, it takes a little bit of time. Just gotta go slow. As you can see, I'm only doing about 6 inches at a time. You just got to be patient. You don't want to apply too much pressure on your knife or you'll bend the wire. A couple of places I must have, as I was going in and out, I must have came out too far and it didn't cut. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so what I've got cut out here is the start, and then I will use that blade, the knife, to cut the slopes. So let me set this off to the side. This is a piece that I'm going to save for maybe a future hill or something like that. Let me set that off to the side. This one is going to be the most complex of all of the pieces, so I think I'm going to reserve that one for last. All right, let me just go ahead and cut that out, and then I will be right back. All right, we got this guy cut out. Now we're gonna go ahead and work on this super complicated one. All right, now if I remember right, this is just a simple corner cut here for another tile. I was just using this corner to assist me, or to save, to save foam. So let me just cut this corner out. And that piece comes right off. Okay. And you see these strings hanging off of your blade or off of the foam. Just move it and get rid of it. I switch out the blades, we're going to go ahead and turn the knife off. Right, the knife has been turned off. Plus, we're going to do multiple things. I'm actually going to unplug it from the transformer. I'm also going to unplug the transformer from the extension cord that I have it plugged into. Alright, with that I'll let that do, because see, this transformer is warming up. So they say not to use the blade for more than 30 minutes at a time and allow it to cool off. So I'm going to let this cool off. I'm going to let that cool off before I grab it to swap out the blades. And as soon as that happens, we'll be right back. Okay, I just had a second thought. I don't necessarily know if I need to use this blade. I was going to use this blade to cut along there. I could just as easily have taken the knife and used it at an angle and cut like that. So basically I just doubled my work. But I don't know, because I haven't used this yet, I don't know if this cuts faster. This might actually cut faster than that blade. And if that's the case, then what I did was the right thing to do. Okay, let's turn it on. Let's give it a few moments to heat up. My other blade that I was using to cut this, the arms were screwed in and they would constantly be flexed where the wire would be all crazy shaped. Where this one's a solid piece here, where it doesn't look like these arms are going to flex. So let's see, I'm going to have to do this standing up. Okay, I have to concentrate. So we're going to get a slope like that. So I'm trying, because I can't see through the foam, I'm trying to get it close to the edge of my initial cut. Or where I have it drawn. Whoa. And you can see the speed at which it's cutting. It's cutting pretty quickly. thing should just pop right off. And then if you ever get any pieces like this, you know, where you might have made a little mistake or whatever, just go back over it and touch it up. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now when cutting this slope here, I didn't get very low to the ground right here. This is where the where it would slope down to the pink. And I don't want any clip faces like that. I mean, you can have clip faces if you want. And you can even do like foliage in that area to disguise it. But I'm going to give it just a little bit of a second cut where it's closer to the pink. All right. Okay. Maybe a little bit right here needs to get got. There's a little bump there, but that's okay. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and take care of that. Simple enough. Everything goes down and it will match up seamlessly. Okay. End of the causeway. When I cut these two corners, I'm going to have to match it up with the other side, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and get started. Once I get finished cutting this one, then we'll be right back. So, and you can see that there was the 1, 2, and 3 boards that are to the left of this that are solid boards, so they don't really, I didn't need to cut on any of those. And then they would go flush with these two boards here, and you can see the kind of curve there, and it goes off to the causeway, and then this one comes up and it matches up just right, perfectly right there. Okay. Maybe I need to cut that a little bit more. I think I need to cut that just a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to cut that before I glue it onto anything. And I'm being very cautious and protective of that little piece right there. All right, and then as the causeway comes across the table, you got the end here, end of the causeway, where the road starts to turn and head. It curves a little bit, and then the start of the bridge is right here. Okay, so that's the end of the causeway. And then across from the causeway would be this high ground, and then there's the end of the causeway, and then that's where the bridge gets settled in. And that's maybe like that, something like that. And that's where the bridge will go, leaving enough space under here for me to put my river. Okay. And then finally, the end of this is going to be that piece right there. So right here is going to be a farm complex. Doesn't look like there's a lot of room here for me to put a lot of buildings, but there should be about 3 or 4 buildings there. Okay, and there are a couple of other buildings, like one there, and then one over there. Okay, I guess we'll have to figure it out. Alright, now because the gluing process is probably going to take a couple of days for me to glue certain pieces onto certain pieces of foam, because the fact that I want to put weight on them and give them time to dry, when there's going to be a cutout, I can only weight down certain pieces and not the entire board. Like this, because they were all flat, I could stack them and then weigh them down. But because these have slopes, or it's not 100% coverage, I will not be able to stack them and put weight, because I could break the foam. So I'm going to have to do like 2 or 3 at a time. So it might be a couple of days before everything's dry, everything's glued, and we're back to normal. But I'll show you one and how I plan to attach it. Okay, so this is tile 4, with that being north, and then this piece is number 4, and that being north, so it should fit on this tile pretty well. The only corner, or the only two sides that I really care about is this pink side and this blue side. As long as this blue overhangs the pink, then that's fine, because it's going to match up with those tiles. Either way. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is, while it's in a good position, I'm going to draw a line, tracing a line, only to let me know where I need to apply the glue. So I'll pick that up. I'm going to be using Elmer's for this. Whoops. Okay, that should be enough. Now, this Elmer's, I'm going to spread it around, and it's going to wind up being very thin. Which is okay. I don't need it to be thick. Right down the center where I poured it, it's obviously the thickest. So I've got to kind of continue to spread it out until I get a pretty good coverage over the entire piece. Okay, I think I've got a pretty good amount of glue where it needs to be. Now we'll line up the southern edge. And we line up the end of the causeway. Okay. End of the causeway looks lined up. Okay, every time I apply a little bit of pressure, this blue thing wants to slide a little bit, exposing the pink. And I don't want the pink exposed. I want it to be flush with the pink on this bottom side anyway. and on this end. Not so much over here. I'm not too really concerned about that. If the pink sticks out of the blue over here, I can always cut it off. That's no problem. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I need to put some weight on there to keep it from shifting. Okay, perfect. Now I need to put some weight on this, right? And then I need to put some weight on this. Okay, I got some lead here. I'm going to put that on there. Weigh that end down. And then right here, I got some more lead. I got lead all over the place. I should probably use it to weigh it down. Okay, it's lined up. It's weighed down. And now I'm just going to let that dry like that. All right, so I'm going to do, once this gets, I don't know. I could probably move these three and do another one right there, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to give that a day to dry. Tomorrow I'll do 2 or 3 more, and I should be finished, right? I only have 3 more boards. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'll do a couple more. I will not record it, but once I get them all done, then I'll show you what they look like. All right, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. All right.